All right. Does anyone remember where we left off 4 weeks ago?
I have to find my notes. I actually started taking notes.
I was so proud.
I was like rewatching the video. I only got 2/3 through because I forgot. Like, oh yeah, it was a 3-hour session. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think we had just defeated all those bees.
They weren't bees, they were bats.
Bats, yes, fire bats.
Yeah.
I think that's where we.
What were you laughing at?
There's the live link for Dennis.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So he can message us if he wants to do anything.
Yeah, we were all in the market when a burnt strig looking woman came in like all disheveled and upset. And we got sent on a scouting mission to the north, basically to see what happened, right? And we found out Ashborough was completely burnt down.
The elder sent us on a quest to go to Elderheart to speak to the guard.
Yeah. No, that woman was on a scouting mission. I had that wrong.
So Kara, the strig woman from Meadowfen, was on a mission to see what happened to the town of Ashborough on the edge of the Scorched Grove. And upon returning to Meadowfen and disrupting the quiet of a farmer's market that you were all at that morning, you found out that Kara was attacked by a fire beast while looking at the burnt remains of Ashborough that was burned to the ground from the Scorched Grove. And the elder Ardwin of Meadowfen asked for your help to send a message to the Birdfolk Council in the capital city of Humblewood, Alderheart. And you all accepted. You filled your pockets with useful items from the farmer's market on Ardwin's dime.
And apples.
Pardon?
And apples.
And apples. And you started on the road to Alderheart. Along the way, you had a scuffle with some bandits on the road. And you met Eliza, the catfolk merchant that you may or may not have run over by a cart.
Eliza Pennyglean.
And she asked to travel with you on the way to Alderheart because she's going there as well and would like a little bit of company so she doesn't get attacked by bandits again on the road. After spending a night on the road, as you started approaching Winnowing Reach, the next town on the way, you were attacked by some ember bats, singed a couple of you all, but you made quick work of the swarms, and that's where we pick up. You're about 2 hours on the road outside of Winnowing Reach, and on either side of you, there's just some swampland, marshland, some saplings here and there. And in the distance, you can start to see the rooftops, the treetops of the town of Winnowing Reach, just as the sun is starting to rise. And that's where we pick up.
Such a good sleep.
Did we sleep? Did we get a long rest? I thought we just fought some bats. I don't know what you're talking about.
I could go for a good sleep.
Sounds about right, Apoc.
You know, when there's lots of fire, you can't tell if it's morning or night. So
That'll the dash.
I guess. What time of day is it right now?
It would be like 8:30, 9 a.m.
Okay, so we're not resting.
You did have a long rest, and then you fought some bats in the morning. And you just finished that fight. There's the last little nose of the last ember bat is just going out.
Can I look around? Did the remains of the bats that we killed and any of the is there anything of notice, anything weird? Like, I haven't seen ember bats before. What do they like look like now they got some time to peruse them?
Yeah. So there were 2 swarms of ember bats that you fought off. So there's about 40 bats total. And they're all kind of scattered in just kind of little piles around the cart and around where you were. And as you're watching Camembert, you start to see the ember bats just sort of almost dissolve into a little pile of ash. And the more you watch, the more just kind of dissolve around you.
Interesting. It's not sticking around. Do I notice any like bat guano or anything like that around?
What?
If you're very quick, you can try to collect some before the last ember bat turns to ash.
Can I do that?
Yes, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
All right. 17.
Ooh, very fast, nimble hands.
You're able to, as you see, it's kind of like almost a wave since the bats sort of followed you and Apoc away from the cart. So as they start to turn into little ash piles farther away from you and are starting to come towards you, you hurriedly go down to the last few bats that are right next to you and extract some bat guano.
Perfect.
Enough from 3 bats, let's say.
Yeah.
Eliza's gonna come up. She had kind of run away from the fight, not wanting to be hurt since her ribs still hurt from being trampled by horses. And is gonna kind of come up to you all and sort of give Cam a little look since he's extracting bat guano and just sort of put a hand on your shoulder, Apoc, since you're closest to her. You okay? Is everyone okay?
I'm a little scratched, but we managed.
You sure?
I mean,
Think you can make it to Winnowing Reach? It's not too far.
it's right there, right?
I mean, you're gonna have to travel maybe an hour or 2, but it's close.
You don't happen to have any healing magic?
If you're that low, absolutely. And she'll put her hand on your shoulder and give you a healing word.
Hey.
Oops. And you heal 4 points.
Oh. You know what, Eliza? I feel better already.
Is everyone else okay?
Nothing a cookie and a cup of tea can't help.
That actually sounds really good. Now, if we make it in time, I know there's a tavern in Winnowing Reach. We might be able to get there just as it opens. I don't know if they have cookies, but I do know that they have some cinnamon buns.
That'll do just perfectly.
I'm sure they're nowhere near as good as your cinnamon buns, Mrs. Q.
That's very sweet of you, Cam. And true.
Sir Basil kind of jumps back onto the cart and says to everyone, "Best get a move on then." And kind of like with a small hand reaches out to kind of like give everyone a lift up onto the cart, but not really doing much to help.
Daisy's gonna jump up into the cart with you, and it's just gonna kind of sit, get a little bit poofy, and start to fall asleep.
And then as he does that, I'll tie the hand cart that he was carrying to the back of our cart, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Apoc jumps aboard.
Eliza's gonna jump on as well.
As she climbs on, Sir Basil asks, "And what have you, fair feline? Are you hurt?" I thought I said the last kid. So.
No, I mean, I thought I was gonna get burned for a second there, but you guys all made pretty quick work of those bats. Have you ever seen them before?
No, I definitely have never seen a creature like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard about it a little bit from the Scorched Grove, but I haven't actually seen them. I thought people were just being dramatic. I guess it's true.
And what have you
heard?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's creatures that come out of the grove. Haven't you heard that?
No. Keep going. We would like to hear more.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the Grove became the Grove, it's like you don't mess with it, you know? You stick to the roads, and even though there's bandits, it's better than trying to go around the forest and risk getting too close to the Grove.
But we're far away from the Grove.
We're really far.
That's why it's kind of weird, I guess.
Has there been tale of anything like this happening lately besides here?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really from here. I just travel often. I only know because my sister in Aldehart, she was the one who told me she had trouble coming back home.
And where's home?
On the coast.
East? West?
About as far west as you can go there, friend.
Trouble on the West Coast.
Well, if they say.
No. She had trouble leaving the wood
To get to the West Coast.
to come home to the west coast.
Yeah.
Once she left the wood, it was fine.
But this is all wood, isn't it?
Oh, it's a big world out there.
Really?
Absolutely.
How far west does it go?
I don't know. I've been traveling for maybe 2 weeks now.
Hey, Apoc, maybe we could find out.
Yeah. Sounds like a great idea, Cam.
Hearing this, Sir Basil kind of like snaps the reins. The horses start, or the ponies start moving the cart.
So it's early morning. You're on the road. It's only about 2 hours to get to Winnowing Reach. And Eliza's a little bit anxious to get there. She could use a proper bed. I was gonna say if you could get the map up, that's great.
I didn't know I could get it up in my player sheet.
That's pretty cool. But as you approach Winnowing Reach, I don't know if any of you have ever passed through it, perhaps a few, but Winnowing Reach is quite small, no bigger than Meadowfen. And as you walk into the main square, you basically see that you can stand in one place, turn in a circle, and see all there really is to see in terms of shops or restaurants or taverns. And as you approach that main town square, mostly on the outskirts are research posts, a few sleepy bird folk and humble folk that are just starting to wake up, a warm cup of something in their hands, and looking through some pretty hefty looking textbooks as they start to look over at the marsh and kind of wave as you pass into town. As you get into the main town circle, Eliza, getting a little bit anxious to finally be back in civilization and not on her own in the road anymore, points out the tavern to you, the Wrangler's Rest. It says, that right there. My sister told me about the cinnamon buns from that. It looks like they're open. Anybody feel like some breakfast?
How about I treat all of you young ones to a nice cinnamon bun and a cup of chamomile tea?
I pull the cart over kind of so we're just outside the place. And I start tying up the horses.
Excellent parallel park, Basil.
Now, the spelling, is it apostrophe S as in somebody's name is Wrangler, or is it just Wrangler's Reach?
Apostrophe S.
Ooh.
The Wrangler's Rest.
Oh, rest. I said reach, but I wrote down rest. I'll find out who this Wrangler is. Sounds like some sort of special guy.
It could be a family name.
It could be the Wranglers.
Yeah, like there would be like Jim Wrangler and Bob Wrangler and all sorts.
Have I ever heard of anybody named Wrangler?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Apoc's not very good at this.
Maybe they're apple wranglers. Maybe they're a competing business.
Might be. Let's get to the bottom of this.
I'm assuming they've got apple cinnamon buns.
It's a 14. Never.
I mean, there could be a name. You have no idea.
Alright. We'll have to ask.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
just thinking the scene in like Forrest Gump when they're talking about like shrimp. Went on.
It's a good dynamic. All right. Do you all go into the tavern, or anybody do you want to do anything else?
Are you gonna stay with the horses or are you gonna come in?
I think
You
Dace
do
has
see
got.
other horses and carts tied around. You get the feeling you could probably be fine if you wanted to leave them, but if you want to stay, that's up to you.
Hey, Dace, can you watch the stuff?
He just keeps like snoring or whatever the equivalent of an owl snoring is.
He just kind of
Hooting.
like wakes up a little bit, nods, puts his great axe like right in view of anybody who would pass by, and just
I'm like picturing him doing curls off the back of the
there you go. Yeah, lifts the cart a little bit at the back.
curls for the merles.
He'll watch your cart for you.
One thing that I wanted to do, because if I remember correctly, I have still yet to actually fess up for the cart incident to Eliza. So I finished Time to Horses. I assume we're heading into Wrangler's place. I like this, like almost like a little kid tugging on her shirt, like pull her back. And then I say, Miss Eliza, I'm afraid I have something I desperately need to tell you.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, you can see that like, I'm kind of like fidgeting a little, not sure how to say it, like this little mouse in front of her. And finally I say, I'm afraid, and it has been tugging at my heart this entire time. And on my honor, I cannot lie to you any longer. It was I who drove the cart into you. And then he like hesitantly kind of like reaches for his helmet, like almost kind of like stops, but then decides to go for it. Takes off his helmet, like kneels down on one knee and like looks up at her and says, I humbly ask for your forgiveness. So for those of you who are close enough to see, you probably noticed a huge scar right here on his forehead.
Did you stop Eliza and let everyone else go forward, or did you just?
Well, so I kind of tugged her and pulled her back a little bit. So I don't know if they would have kept going or if they would have like stopped to see like, oh, what's going on. So
Would you guys have stopped to see what's going on, or would you guys have kept going into the Wrangler's Rest?
I probably would have been the last one in because
Yeah.
I move very slowly.
I don't know this shit.
All right. All right. So Apoc and Cam.
Yeah, I'd be going with Apoc into like if not, I'm already at the cinnamon bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cinnamon buns.
I'll see you two in a second. All right, Mrs. Q, if you're moving that slowly, you would see this as well. And Eliza kind of just like sort of looking down at you, sort of like rubbing her chest where she got trampled by two horses. Kind of like tugs at her ear. You know what?
his ears start going down as he's starting to realize, oh, I don't think he's going to forgive me.
It hurt. I'll say that. But I didn't die. That's a plus. Tell you what. You tell me how you got that scar, and I'll think about forgiving you.
Sir Basil kind of stands up and puts the helmet on and says, I'll take you up on that deal, but over a cinnamon bun. And kind of like in a knightly way, kind of like reaches out to kind of lead her into the Wrangler place.
Oh my
And
god.
she'll let you. She'll kind of keep her hand to herself, but she'll go forward. All right, in the cinnamon, well, hold on. I was about to call it the cinnamon bar. In the Wrangler's Rest. Good lord. All right, in the Wrangler's Rest, first thing that you two, Apoc and Cam, notice as you walk in is cinnamon, because it's a cinnamon bun place now. And there's actually quite a few tables for it being a small research station kind of town. You get the sense that the researchers may or may not enjoy letting loose at night, since there's not a whole lot to do. Kind of like a, you know, Antarctic expedition, think of.
Or like Thunder Bay.
Accurate.
Any northern community.
Any northern community,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. You notice that there are a few researchers already there. They're enjoying their cinnamon buns. They're enjoying a cup of something, again, not too sure what. Looks to be steaming, but is it spiked? Perhaps. And you notice there's this quite finely crafted bar that looks almost like the tree this bar or this tavern was built into. They just sort of kept a portion of the trunk, almost like a living edge sort of natural bar that just flows with the wall itself. So it all looks like one massive structure that they just carved around to create this tavern. And you see this kind of older, kind of plump little raptor female just starting to wipe down the bar, and another younger raptor female just bring out this massive tray of cinnamon buns and just sort of put it on the counter behind the bar. There's tables for you to sit at, there's bars for you to sit at. And the raptor female behind the bar just kind of waves and gestures.
Does it smell like apples in here?
It smells mostly like cinnamon right now.
Okay.
Works really well with apples.
Guys, I smell a business proposition.
I like to like sit down at a table with like a view of most of the bar, not to see like the other people, but like take a look at like the paraphernalia on the wall, if there's like paintings or art, if there's any signs, you know, things like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you don't have to roll for it if you're just cruising around and taking your time. It's interesting because of the way Winnowing Reach is. It's not a perch where everything is built up into the trees, although some of it is. But this tavern, in order to accommodate the humble folk more often, is really built into the trunk of this tree. So the art or the tapestries that you see on the wall are actually carved directly into the wall itself, since it's all still living wood.
Apoc.
So what you see are these just beautiful, like painting-esque carvings of a map of Humblewood and a map of the mock fields in the swamp to the south of Winnowing Reach, and the Crest Mountain panorama on the opposite wall above the fireplace.
Wow. Hey, Apoc, look at that etching. It's almost like you could like embed some images into your board logs. This is like,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
You know what? That living edge too on the table is perfect for carving.
Oh, what do you think you could carve it into?
I don't know if they'd be happy about it though.
We can
I think
ask for forgiveness.
it is easier.
Hearing this,
I could really go for some of these cinnamon buns though. I don't want to get kicked out of here that fast.
hearing all of the talk about misbehavior, Miss Cooper gets up and goes to order some cinnamon buns so she doesn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, you absolutely walked in on them talking about this since you were a couple minutes behind.
Can I sleight of hand slip some money into Mrs. Q's pocket?
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
Let's see. 13.
Mrs. Q, what is your passive perception?
I don't know what that means.
Far left of your page.
On the far left of your page, under your saving throws.
12.
Yeah, you're able to do it and she does not notice.
All right, I'll slip enough money to cover everybody's cinnamon buns.
It's only about like, if you want cinnamon buns for everybody, it would be like 5 silver. So
That's
you slip
exactly the amount that I drop in. No more, no less.
Hey, perfect. I love it.
Oh, man.
that. All right. Mrs. Q, you go up to the counter to order some cinnamon buns, and the raptor woman behind the counter just, good morning.
Hello.
What can I get you?
I think I would like to get some of your most famous cinnamon buns. For my friends and I'm going to need, how many are there? There's 5 of us.
2, 3, 4.
Plus Dace.
No, plus Eliza 5.
5, not including Dace or with Dace?
Dace is sleeping on
I'll
side.
get one for Dace. So I'm gonna get 8 cinnamon buns because the 2 young ones at the table are still growing. They'll need
Miss
it.
Quillen. Miss Quillen, can you ask her who the Wrangler is?
She make a comment about, oh, what are they restrictions?
What does he mean,
Yeah, do those.
who the Wrangler is?
They're just wondering about the name of the tavern, dear. Who is the wrangler that is at rest? Is it a person? Is it a family? They're very inquisitive.
Well, it's for the slimes, of course.
The what?
The slimes. In the fields,
The slimes.
the slimes. You don't know about the slimes, do you?
We don't know about the slimes.
Well, Winnowing Reach here. It's a research station, yeah? It's for the slimes that live in the caves just to the south of us. They're sort of like big blobs. And they're not really friendly, but the researchers that come here, they all like to go and see if they can capture or wrangle, if you will, some of these slimes. And, you know, the big shots up in Alderhart, they pay a good price for some of the slime. And as far as I know, some even makes it to Salter's Port for shipment overseas. I don't know what for. People like my cinnamon buns. That's what I provide.
There's no slime in cinnamon buns, right?
Is he for real? No,
Thank you.
they're cinnamon.
Don't mind him. If we could also have some extra strong chamomile, it might take the edge off his, quirkiness.
It'll be delivered right to your table. That'll be about 5 silver.
Excellent. I reach into my pocket and I say, oh, I happen to have the exact change. But I pull out another silver and give it and say, thank you for being so helpful.
Much obliged.
Cinnamon.
Right.
And you waddle back.
All right, you see the younger female raptors start taking out the cinnamon buns and steeping some water. Nope, boiling some water for tea.
Excellent.
So Eliza looks to you. Do I get to know the story now?
Are we all just seated at the same table?
Unless you want to be at a different table?
Well, okay, I'll ask the group. Is everyone just like listening, or are they kind of doing their own thing right now?
I'd be like half listening, but also like looking around the bar or the
I think I'd be curious if somebody brought up a story.
Okay. Sir Basil, being so small, rather than sitting on a chair or a stool, he's like sitting on the table. And he's like thinking to himself of like how he wants to say the story. And he eventually says to Eliza, let's just say that there's a, hold on, let me quickly pull up my backstory so I remember.
Buffering.
Yeah.
While he's contemplating, and he was knitting, you see I'm trying to get it right. A tiny orb of light appear in front of her. And the orb is, I'm so bad at spells. The orb is like golden and like sort of shoots little bits of light across the room, like it like glints off of the like glasses and such. And she just looks at it, goes, oh, that's nice. And then it disappears and she continues on with her knitting.
Amazing. I love that. Eliza will just kind of like watch it as she's waiting for Sir Basil's story.
Okay, so he eventually, after thinking about it, says, let's just say that there is one Corvum in Elderheart who has learned his lesson to never look down on creatures smaller than himself and to take advantage of those less weak or weaker. And then he finishes it off by saying, praise Gaspard for standing up for the weak and being a champion. And hopefully, and so he says that, and he looks at Eliza and waits for her response.
Yeah, I'll forgive you for running me over with the car.
The apple, I love it.
Who is Gaspar?
I turn over to Gaspard. Gaspard, my friend, is the champion of all. What do we call the people who are on the ground?
Humble folk.
Humble folk.
Cool.
And I guess I would kind of explain like a little bit about, because Gaspard's like the part of a religion, religious.
Oh, yeah, no, it's perfect. Love it.
Okay.
Right around this time, you see the raptor woman from behind the bar kind of just come with a giant tray laden with these cinnamon buns that are like the size of your face. And just sort of comes, all right, cinnamon buns for the table. And the tea is coming right up. And the younger raptor comes with 8 mugs of tea. I hope you enjoy. It's my recipe. If you're staying in Winnowing Reach for a bit, I appreciate you coming by for food or rooms or whatever it is that you need. It's a cute little town. You should explore a bit.
So Basil stands up on the table, walks over and grabs cinnamon bun, and like when he holds it up, it's literally just like almost as if he's holding a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's massive.
He's about to take a bite, but then stops and realizes, oh wait, this isn't the nightly thing to do. And so then he hands one to Miss Colum, he takes one, hands one to Eliza, and hands one to everyone, and then finally sits down and then takes a tiny bite, which is huge to him, this giant thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
It's a really good cinnamon bun. Just FYI, it's like amazingly good. The cinnamon is perfect, the glaze is perfect, and it's so perfect that you feel a little bit invigorated from it. Even though it's just a cinnamon bun and it might not be the healthiest thing for breakfast. But everybody does get 3 temporary hit points for eating their cinnamon bun.
Oh, best cinnamon bun ever. That's not what Miss Cullen would say.
He's sitting there trying to think like, what's in this cinnamon bun, and trying to like break down the baking recipe because you want
It's
to.
almost like there's a magic ingredient or something like that. All right. Is there anything anyone wanted to talk about or wanted to do, or?
Did everyone overhear the slime? Would I need to communicate that, or was everyone listening?
Well, Apoc overheard the slimes. I would say everyone could overhear the slimes. That's fine.
Okay. I asked Eliza, do you know anything else about these slimes? I know your sister said that she came here and she is clearly very good at finding the best cake shops. So does she know anything about the slimes?
I mean, my sister only spent like a day here, which is why she knew about the cinnamon buns, since you can rent rooms in this place. But I don't know. I mean, slimes are kind of new to me. She met some researchers while she was here and just passing through who were on their way down to the mock caverns. That's in the marshland down to the south of here. It's off the road, but I don't know. Like the bartender said, it fetches a pretty penny. Even out west, it fetches a pretty penny. But I mean, it's dangerous stuff too. Sorry, Mrs. Q, that's all I know.
That's all right, dear. I can always ask her when she comes back without tea.
You said
Yeah.
there are other people sitting down having whatever.
Yeah, there's one other table. There's a luma, like a pigeon folk-esque,
Okay.
and a strig sitting down at another table. They're not really paying you any mind. They're kind of just in their own conversation.
Which one looks more well dressed?
They're both not in the fanciest clothes. It's kind of
Okay.
just common folk for right now, but.
All right. I want to approach the Luma and just kind of walk up, kind of like shy and maybe just like a little bit like cautiously, like, excuse me, are you a researcher?
Is that obvious?
Well, I have a little bit of a question. We've been traveling for a bit and I encountered something weird in the outskirts of here. Some fiery bats. Have you seen anything? Do you know anything about that?
Fiery bats. And she'll kind of look over to her companion. They both kind of think. I mean, I know there's creatures in the grove. I've never seen them.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just curious for the most part. I mean, not often you see that, and it was kind of around this town. I figured maybe some folk here might know more.
Oh,
What do you research? Out of curiosity.
I'm here researching the slimes, of course.
Oh, you're one of the wranglers that I hear about.
Well, I'm more for the research of it. I think the people who are kind of using it for profit aren't exactly good.
There's a lot of people researching slimes.
Yeah,
Is
because
it-
they're part of the ecosystem down here.
What, like, have you figured anything out? Like, any applications?
Well, I know there are 3 types of slimes.
Okay.
There's ones that kind of suction cup themselves to you. There's ones that kind of, you don't want to touch because it'll hurt you quite a bit.
Okay.
And I haven't seen this one personally, but we call it the shifting slime. And apparently it's different from the other 2. It's got some sort of changing property.
Like, changing places or changing what it is?
I know it changes color,
Okay.
but I don't know. I don't really know what it does. She kind of looks to her companion who's just, I'm more of a bodyguard type out in the fields anyways.
That's that suction cup one though. That sounds really interesting. Has anybody been able to use the slime to make anything?
Well, I'm sure those magic folk in Alderheart and the magic folk in the Avion probably do.
Like, could you put some of the slime on your feet and just walk up walls? Would it stuck to that?
Worth a shot, I guess.
Well, what do you?
No, the people who wrangle ship it up to the magic folk and they do something with it. I'm not sure what they do. They just collect it here.
All right. You don't happen to have any of that slime, do you?
As a specimen?
Maybe.
I'm a researcher.
Yeah, you need specimens to research.
I'm not going to give you a specimen. Who are you?
I'm Apoc from the Apoc Groves down in the south. Have you heard about our orchard? Yeah, Apocalypse Groves, Apocalypse Orchards. That's what I said.
Been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has.
I mean,
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You're odd,
No,
but
not,
in a good way.
not too often you get boar folk up here. I'm a boar.
Uh-huh. I know your family's Richard.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Here, have an apple.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wa-
Thanks for the information. I appreciate it.
Watching this, Sir Basil's just kind of like staring, kind of like blankly, kind of like watching it unfold, and just slowly, kind of like,
I love every interaction with Apoc.
Now, I don't want to take too much of your time, so I appreciate that. I'll let you get back to what you're doing.
If you're looking for a drink here,
Mhm.
this is called coffee.
Ooh.
would we
Weird if I asked for a sip?
would we know about coffee? Like, would we know what coffee is?
You would.
Good. Okay, so hearing that, I immediately my ears perk up. I'm like, no, no coffee for my friend. I think he's wired enough, and then just like pull him back to the table. And I just got like icing all over my face because of
Amazing.
All right. Okay, Basil, I won't have.
The raptor bartender woman.
Yeah, this is on the other side, already sipping the coffee.
Yeah.
This stuff's great.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I'm gonna prestidigitate the coffee that I've grabbed to chill it down so it's iced coffee.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh.
nice.
Very nice.
Got a little cold brew going on over here.
Amazing. The raptor bartender woman sort of comes back up, seeing most of you have finished the cinnamon buns. What do you think? Was it good? Or can the recipe be improved at all?
I don't think you need to change a single thing. This is delicious.
I thank you, dear.
Sir Basil, this little mouse just looks up and just sticks a little thumbs up at her. That's it.
So what are you folk doing in town?
What do you say?
Do you all need some coffee to wake up, or?
Well,
We're just on our way through, and we were told that this was the perfect place to stop for a good morning breakfast of cinnamon buns. But we're interested to hear more about the place. It sounds like you've got quite good business with quite an interesting clientele.
Well, I mean, we're we're a research station here. We do get some folk from Alderheart and from the Avian coming down, check on us every so often. I mean, if you're looking for adventure, you best be prepared to deal with some of the slimes in the swamp, but otherwise it's safe. We're not too far away from Alderheart. It's nice here.
Hearing her say that, Sir Basil says, slimes. What about flying bats?
I mean, there's bats in the caves too.
Yeah, like the fire bats.
And then I kind of like keep pressing and say, what about fire bats? Ever seen any of those around these woods, around this neck of woods?
There's like an old tale where if you venture too close to the grove, too far north, you might encounter some fiery creatures, but who would go that far north anyways? The grove is, well, scorched. There's nothing there anymore. And by nothing, I mean nothing.
Ever hear of any of these fire creatures coming this far away from the grove?
Sweetie, I ain't seen these fire creatures before. I've seen a slime, but no fire creatures here. if it's fairy tales you're looking for, you can always go to the bookshop up the street. They'll have sort of a collection of tales of this area. Maybe there's something I don't know about.
Basil thinks, and then just takes another bite on the last bit of his sensible.
Right. You all have a good day, unless there's anything else I can get you.
I did have one last thing.
Yeah.
Well, you never gave us your name, Miss Raptor Lady.
Me? I'm Helen.
Helen. Nice to meet you, Helen.
Nice to meet you too.
It's been a while since I've talked to anybody that's been up here in Winnowing Reach. Do you know if the haberdashery still do their shipments up this way?
On their way to Alderheart.
Maybe, yeah, they usually stop in. I remember there being a shop in town, and I was just wondering if you knew where and if you could point me in the right direction.
You know, if any place would have it, it would either be the Apoc-ethary or the bookbindery. They sort of have wares from around. Don't know if we have the haberdashery anymore, but something will be there for you, I'm sure.
Sounds good.
Right. And she'll kind of just give another little nod and just walk back behind the bar and tend to more people who have decided to come for breakfast at the Wrangler's Rest. Winnowing Reach is yours to explore if you'd like to. Eliza's actually going to kind of get up from the table, and if you guys are gonna stay here for a couple days, I mean, at the very least I could use a rest, but I'm gonna see if I can make any money from the wares in my cart. So if you want to stay for at least a day, just come get me before you leave for Alderheart. Does that sound cool?
It's an excellent idea.
Sounds good to me, Eliza.
Great. She'll kind of leave, and you can kind of see her through the window untying her hand cart and moving it farther out of view into the center of the square. What would you guys like to do today?
Well,
Miss,
go ahead.
I turn to Cam and I say, what exactly is it that you have in mind?
Well, I figure while you guys are all doing your stuff here in town, I was just gonna go take a look. Get some better clothes. Maybe sew up this hole in the jacket. I'm a little afraid of what Apoc did to is gonna light me on fire, but
No.
at least gets a nice little pocket protector, or just dress up a little bit more if we're going to be heading up to Alderheart. I'm
Lovely.
definitely underdressed, so nothing to worry about, Mrs. Quillum.
Okay. Good to hear.
Oh dear. Right. Whenever you choose to do so, if you wanted to go out into the main town square, you can look around and you do see some signs in front of some of the perches. There's the Wrangler's Rest with Dace still doing curls by the cart. There's the bookbindery and the Apoc-ethary that Helen mentioned to you both, or to you all. You can see Eliza right smack dab in the middle is putting up a little sign that just says Eliza's right above her cart. And you see kind of what looks like this sort of regal building where there's one very ornately carved plaque on the door reading Magistrate's Office. And farther across the square, you see one quite big building, almost looking like the silos of a farm, kind of connected in a row. That reads storage and granary. But that's just what you see when you go out. I'm not forcing you out of the rest if you wanted to stay in the tavern.
Well, if you want, I can jump in. All right, I'll see you guys. See you guys later, and I scamper off, as much of a scamper as I can, as I head over to the apothecaries to see if figure that might be a spot they'll have it.
Mm-hmm. Great. So you go into the apothecary. Did anyone want to join Cam or no?
I'll go.
You scamper with Mrs. Q.
I don't wait for her.
Oh.
All right. Cam, you make it into the apothecary before Mrs. Q does. And little bell kind of dings as you walk through. It's a little bit of a damp smell, kind of like wet wood. It's a little bit higher up in the perches, so you do have to climb a little bit of a staircase to get up into the apothecary itself. And when you do walk in, you notice that behind this sort of almost like a folding table-esque, if it were not made of metal, there is just row upon row upon row upon row of a bunch of different colored liquids in vials that are big, vials that are small, some that look like Erlenmeyer flasks, some that just look like beakers with a cork shoved into it. Just this barrage of colors. And as you open up the door and the bell dings, you hear this kind of scampering, and this Vulpin sort of pokes out from a staircase that you didn't really notice behind the shelves. Hi.
Hey, is it cool that I have my iced coffee in here while I look around?
That's a great idea. Iced coffee? That's a great idea.
You want to try?
Okay.
It's trademarked.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Come on in.
All right, I come on in, and then I look to see how far back Mrs. Quillam is, and I like prop the door open just to like make it easier for her by the time she gets up. I'm looking for stuff. Do you have anything that's like not potions, or is this just mostly liquid varieties?
Well, you mean like food, or you mean something else? Or
Oh, I've heard that like, you know, there used to be some haberdasheries in town, but they've kind of gone by the wayside. And I was just wondering if you guys are picking up the slack for supply. Some of the researchers like to be dressed up a little bit better and just have some interesting odd garments. If I could find them, I was hoping to check in here first. Got a recommendation from the Wranglers. I don't know who Wrangler is, but the Wranglers Rest.
Yeah. You mean like hats and stuff, right? We have hats. We have hats. It's right behind you. And if you turn, you just see like 5 hats on a stand.
Okay.
Like on a coat rack.
Cool. How much for the hats?
Depends on which one.
What kind of hats do they have? Yeah, you said 5 hats, so describe these hats to me, please.
Oh no.
You walked into this.
I walked into it. I'm just going to pull my hats. Let's see. Okay, there is a all right, you see, oh my god, there are so many good ones when you Google hats. Of the 5 hats there, you see one that is kind of like a pale blue rimmed hat. It's got just this tiny little green, looks like a luma feather kind of stuck in the side. It's fedora-esque, but more like an older man fedora.
Okay.
You see one that is an absolutely massive cowboy hat, like with the big brim. You see one, and I am absolutely going to put this in only because I really want to. You see one that looks like this.
Can we have all of these?
You see one that looks like this.
Yes.
Jesus.
You see one that's just this kind of like denim scuffed baseball hat. And you see one that kind of looks like a floppy brimmed sun hat with this like daisy chain of fake flowers tied around the brim.
Interesting. I like the fedora. That seems to be more my vibe. You can see I got the bowler hat going, but I'm looking to mix it up. The flower one looks very pretty, but I can't not inquire about the frog hat. That one looks too good to be true. Is that for sale?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you like it, it's for sale. Absolutely.
How much for the hat?
Well, if you want to take all 5, I could give you a deal. It could be a silver. But if you just want the one, then it would be a silver.
So
You get the sense that this guy's had way too much to drink this morning.
All right, I'll give you a silver for all the hats.
All the hats.
All the hats.
Even the frog one?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, great, great.
And while I'm here, I noticed that you got a lot of potions. Do you guys do any jewelry back here too? Specifically, I'm looking for a pearl.
Now I'm thinking like, what is
Jewelry. Oh, sorry, Andrew?
Now I'm just thinking, what is he planning?
Yeah.
The pearl.
I don't have jewelry.
Just a pearl.
I'm too jittery for that. Just the pearl. I don't think I have a pearl.
That's okay. Well, I'll take the hats and... Oh, here comes Mrs. Quillum. So I paid fair and square for all of these hats that I've got held up in my hand right now.
Oh,
So-
aren't you a good boy?
Oh, thank you. I think you might like the flower hat.
Oh, it's lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Play with my apron.
Perfect. And I'm gonna save the rest for everybody else later. All right.
Jace
So,
gets the captain hat.
so I'm done here, and I'll leave it there for now.
Mrs. Q, is there anything you wanted in the apothecary?
I was mostly just trying to keep an eye on Cam. I wouldn't mind. I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand how. Because some spells require stuff, right?
If it's a monetary value for the stuff, then yes. So if it's like a 25 gold piece silver amulet or something, you need that piece.
Okay.
But if it's like a drop of holy water with no monetary value, your holy symbol takes the place of that.
Okay, gotcha.
Unless you want a flavor text.
Okay, I think I'll just say, oh, a long way over here, but I'm glad you found what you wanted. And I start hobbling back out again.
All right.
Yeah,
Leave the apothecary.
so I can leave a little cookie on where the hat stand is. I'll be like, here you go. And I'll just leave a cookie on the hat stand.
This
Oh.
Vulpin is going to leap towards this cookie and just
Can I use the opportunity to try and swipe one of the potions?
My man.
yes.
My man.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, go.
Vulpin's just-
Slide a hand check.
It's cocked. It's a dirty 20.
You rolled a 19 on his perception. Do you just grab any potion? Do you go for a particular one or just snatch?
I will swap out my cold brew coffee with a potion that looks similar in color.
All right. You, as this Vulpin leaps towards this cookie, you take the opportunity and just swipe the first one on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's this kind of like muddy brown-esque to match the color of your cold brew coffee, although, you know, the coffee's in like a Starbucks container and the potion's in a potion bottle. But you get the sense this guy's probably not going to notice.
Perfect.
Yeah, you have this like muddy brown potion.
Awesome. Thank you.
TPD. All right. Apoc or Sir Basil. Would you like to do anything, see anything?
I think I have to check out the book bindery. What were you saying? Sorry.
I said I'll let Apoc go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I because they're two different places, right? It's not the book bindery and apothecary. It's
They're two different places.
yeah. I'd be heading towards the bookshop or library, whatever it is.
Bookshop, yeah.
The bookshop. Okay.
The book bindery, bookshop, library, whatever you want to call it, it kind of functions as everything here at the research station. It's also up in the branches of one of the trees surrounding the main square of Winnowing Reach.
Okay.
And you can tell that this tree is one of the older trees. It's got some peeling bark. It's still looking very healthy, but at the same time, the stairs creak as you walk up towards it.
Cool.
And as you walk into this book bindery, it's that beautiful smell of old books. When you open up the book, you shove your face in it. And it smells of books, it smells of brewing tea. There's a little kind of vase full of lilies right at the counter where you see this older straight woman with the little spectacles and some gray in her feathers on her face, just sort of flipping through a book, sipping her tea.
He approaches and in bird folk, he speaks to her, knowing she's a bird.
Bird folk is common in this world.
Fine. Damn you.
I just imagine Apoc being like,
he goes up, excuse me, I'm looking to purchase some things. Do you sell paper here, books, that kind of stuff?
Of course, of course.
Do you happen to have anything that would let me send a message to someone or some people far away?
Well, I mean, you can, as in writing a letter?
Well, people have to deliver letters, right?
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, is there anything that you kind of remove the person from the equation and it just sends itself? Is that a thing?
Are you looking for a spell scroll?
Well, maybe just like a magical letter that can do it itself. It doesn't have to be a spell scroll.
Hold on, a magical letter that can send itself.
Yeah. Is that a thing in this world?
I don't know. I know what you mean. Like, do you mean like message? Or do you mean like a physical letter?
I
This
don't
is
know if
Andrew.
it's possible.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, like, there's something that, well, would I know if you can send letters with, I don't want to say it, but birds in this world?
There are still non-sentient animals in this world.
Okay. I don't know how mail delivery is. Is there a post service?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
You can send a letter via Raven if you want.
Okay.
If you're looking for something magical,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to TBD you
Okay.
so that I can look it up.
How much is parchment? If I wanted to buy some parchment, I guess just to...
Is it good parchment or is it just parchment?
Do you have any stationery?
We have monogrammed stationery.
Whose name?
Well, I'll need some time to make it monogrammed stationery, but I could get that for you.
Ooh. How much time?
Well, what do you want on it? Is just an initial? Is it your full name? Kind of depends on the letters.
How much would a name? How much time would a name be?
Well, if it's a name that's more than, I would say, about 5 letters, depending on how nice you want it, I would need maybe a week to get to stationery pad, but
smokes, that's a lot.
well, it's a lot of pages, sweetheart.
I can write my own name, I think.
Is your name that long?
No, it's 4 letters, but I don't have a week, unfortunately.
Do you have a couple days?
I don't think so.
Well, if you change your mind, you know
Wait.
where to find me.
Wait, if you can mail these. I don't have an address there, but I'm going to. How would this work? If I'm going to be at a place and you send it, I get it, but then could I resend it? That'd probably work, eh?
Are you
It's
trying
like
to
one
mail
time-
yourself a letter?
I'm trying to get you to mail me the letters so I can mail them later.
I don't know what you mean.
Is that
Andrew doesn't know what you mean.
If
No,
I give-
seriously, what do you mean?
could I don't have an address in Alderheart, but I'm going to Alderheart. Could you send me them when they're done? You don't have to use my stationery to send them,
Oh.
but you could use your stationery. Like a package.
Okay, I'm creating the stationery for you,
Mhm.
and you want it shipped to Alderheart.
Exactly.
Okay,
If it's gonna take that long.
yeah, I can do that. It'd be a little more upfront, so I can pay to have it delivered. But we do have deliveries to Alderheart all the time, so if you know of a hotel or a building or a person there, or I can just send it to one of the spots that I know best, or I can send it to the other post office there. And you can just go pick it up.
I'll just pick it up at the post office. That sounds like a great idea.
Okay, all right. This was a fun conversation. What would you like monogrammed on your pad of paper?
How many sheets are in the pad? And how much is it gonna cost? Because we gotta
I'm
figure
gonna hit
this
you with a
out.
notebook.
How much is it gonna cost? I don't know if I can pay for this.
Well, what's your name? What do you want?
My name's Apoc.
Okay, is that APOK, APOC?
APOC.
Okay, so Apoc. Normally for this, my rates are about 100 pages of monogrammed stationery, and it would cost about 5 copper for me to do.
Oh, okay. I got this bag bed. This is nothing. Could you do, oh man, could you write on it? Don't laugh at this, but Apoc's blog gone
How do you spell blog?
BLOG,
Okay, just one G.
but could you do it all capitalized? It's kind of an abbreviation.
Okay, so Apoc's blog, all capitalized.
Yeah.
This is going to take me a while to do. You know that, right?
How many days?
Well, for this many letters, as I said, it'll take me about a week for 100 pages, and it's going to cost a little bit more since I'm needing more ink.
Okay, that's fine.
So if you wanted that with delivery and everything, I would say it'll be about a silver and 2 copper.
Can I give you a gold to have it sooner?
I'm one person. I don't know if I could do it sooner unless you don't mind some errors in handwriting. I could have my assistant.
That's fine. If you have an assistant and the 2 of you could do it, if I give you 2 gold, there's 1 for each of you guys. Could I have it in like 3 days?
We'll make that happen for you.
Fantastic. I hand over the gold.
But you,
I'll pick it up in Alderheart at the post office.
Oh, you still want it shipped to the post office?
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna be.
I thought you meant you were going to stay for a couple days. Okay. It's a nice town, you should.
Well, we might be here for a couple days, but I don't know if I could be here for.
Tell you what, check back before you leave,
Okay,
and maybe we'll have it done.
maybe. If not, just send it and I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Thanks. What's your name? Sorry.
My name?
Yeah.
My name's Karen.
Oh,
Oh.
nice to meet you, Karen.
Nice to meet you too.
All right.
Apoc?
Apoc.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Oh, here's the goal.
That was 2 goals.
You go.
Mark that off.
Yes.
healthcare assistant.
All right, that was an interesting exchange. Sir Basil, is there anything you'd like to do?
Okay, so leaving the Wranglers rest, I go over and give Dace his cinnamon bun, but he doesn't realize that I've taken a complete layer off the cinnamon bun, and afterwards I go and feed the 2 ponies the piece of the cinnamon bun.
Aw.
And as I'm like petting them and they're eating out of my hand, I look over and I see the magistrate's office, and I decide to saunter over and Head on in.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So you saunter over to the magistrate's office. It's this regal, this stately-esque building compared to the rest of this, what really is just a research post for Winnowing Reach, plus those who have decided to make their business off of the researchers from Alderhart and Avium. And as you walk up to the magistrate's office, you notice that there are indeed like 2 bird folk militia guards kind of standing on either side of the door. They look to be a little bit bored already since it's the morning and nothing really happens in this town. And you kind of see one of them start to pull out what looks like this deck of cards from his side pouch and just kind of like nudges the other one and just starts to shuffle.
Walking up and seeing that and being a knight, I make a comment to them saying, I didn't know that the responsibilities of a guard in, where are we right now? What's the place called?
Winnowing Reach.
Winnowing Reach were so lax. Where I'm from, a guard takes his role very seriously. And I kind of just like it's almost kind of like a jab at them. We're kind of like, you guards.
These 2 raptors just kind of look down at you as you're saying this. You think you can do our job better?
Sir Basil kind of stops in his tracks, looks at them, and says, better? I would not be so bold to say that. But as a knight, I take my role, regardless of what I am doing, very seriously.
Listen, buddy, I don't know if you know what this place is. Not too much really happens around here. And the thing is that if something does happen, we have a lot of warning. All right, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere as far as the eye can see. Unless, of course, you know something we don't.
I kind of like take a step closer and I kind of say, oh no, nothing at all. But you're telling me nothing happens here? I've been hearing a lot about slimes and fire bats that have been encroaching the town.
All right. Slimes are to the south. The researchers bring back some slimes left behind. That's it. We had one event where a slime got out of his specimen container and we handled it. Fire bats? You've been reading too many of the stories in the book bindery up the street. Who are you anyways? I don't recognize you. And I certainly don't recognize your armor as a knight.
Just passing through on my way to Alderhart. I was hoping to stop in to gather some information about the town and the surrounding area.
Well, how about this? I'll let the magistrate know that you stopped by to gather information, and we'll see if he decides that he wants you in this town or not. That sound fair?
You're hearing him say that, I think I'll speak to the magistrate myself, and I continue walking towards the door.
They're gonna grab you.
Can I like, I don't know, can I like, kind of like get away? Kind of like.
All right, make.
Deke them out or what's it called?
Are you trying to deke them out and get around them?
Deke them out and just keep going towards the door.
Okay. Make a. They're gonna try and grapple you if you're gonna do that. So go ahead and make either an athletics or an acrobatics check. I gotta find these stat blocks.
Okay.
Did not think it was going to go this way, but I
No?
love all of it. Especially since none of us are with you.
Yeah, you're on your own. We're gonna use the Mama Duck dice. What'd you get, Sir Basil?
Okay, so I rolled 18.
You try and get around this first raptor guard, and you think you get past him, and all of a sudden you feel this kind of talon on the back of your armor. And he's just gonna kind of pull you back. You try that again, we're taking you to the jail. You wanna know how seriously we take our jobs?
Okay.
Why do you wanna speak to the magistrate?
What do I say? Like I said, just passing through and wanted to get some information about the area and the town. Do I get the
Is that
sense
from
that
anyone?
he's talking down to me?
Pardon?
Do I get the sense that this guy is like talking down to me, or he's just like,
I think everybody talks down to you.
This.
yeah, but so it plays into my character if I feel like he's like belittling me.
He was talking down to you at the start. You tried to get around him, and now he's just losing patience.
Okay.
Like you see his buddy start to kind of tighten his grip on this like long sword hilt that he has at his side.
Okay.
What do I do?
Would anyone in the, would any of our posse who are like back in the center, like who have exited the buildings that we were in, notice that this is happening? Or is it further away?
I'm assuming this is all kind of happening simultaneously, that you're in the buildings.
Okay.
The only person
Would have been Dace.
it would be Dace or Eliza there. But even then you can't really, you're on the opposite side of where the tavern is, so Dace wouldn't even be able to hear what's going on.
So I think realizing how quickly these two are getting on edge because of me, I then say, as a knight, an honorable knight, so as a knight speaking to two honorable guards, if I can't speak to the magistrate, can you then give me the information or share the information that I'm looking for? Apologies if I overstepped.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. What's my persuasion?
+0.
Oh, okay. Good roll, good roll. 17.
Even though they're getting quite short with you and angry at the fact that you are trying to impose your will where you don't belong, the guard that you've been speaking to, the strig that, or the raptor that pulled you back, what is it that you want to know so you go away?
I want to know about any dangerous incidents that have happened around the town. I've heard of strange incidents happening on the roads around here.
The only danger that we face, it's not from the slimes, it's not from the grove. I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to these fire bats. The only dangers we face are bandits. Every so often, they think they are brave enough to try and raid our slime storage in the granary, and they don't do so well with that.
Oof.
Slime ooze is for some reason expensive and sought after by the people in Alderheart and the magic users at the Avium. Even across the sea, from what I know. Not sure why, the slimes kind of creep me out, but that is as much danger as we face.
hearing that, I thank them for their time, give them kind of like a soldier's salute, and I back off and walk away.
They're gonna like, as you walk away, they're no longer taking out their cards. They're keeping an eye on you.
Okay. I walk back to the cart and just like hang out with the ponies.
As you walk back to the cart, you do notice that one of the guards kind of like does actually go into the magistrate's office, is gone for about 5 minutes and then comes back out. All right, let's take a quick breather because I just need to stand up real quick.
Sounds good.
And we will continue. They were going to ask you if you wanted to play cards. Good to jump back in.
Yes.
So it's been an eventful day in Winnowing Reach for all of you, except for Dace, who got a really good 12-hour workout in. And it's starting to get a little bit closer to dusk. You can see that Eliza is still actually quite busy from the researchers here who needs these odds and ends and bits and bobs for travels and treks out into the mock fields to look for signs or just different things outside the norm that they usually get here. And she's doing really well for someone who didn't have a full cart even coming into Winnowing Reach. If you go up and talk to her, she kind of sort of nods for a second and finishes up with one of the customers that she has, and is going to come up and just, are you guys all right if we spend a night here? I'm doing really well. I promise I'll pay for everybody's cinnamon buns tomorrow morning, but I'm almost clear on my cart. This is great. I'll have enough money to start my shop when I get to Alderheart.
Yeah, not a problem with me.
Yep. I think having a good rest in this lovely place sounds like an excellent idea.
How much more do you need to sell before we get going?
Well, I honestly wasn't expecting to sell what I sold. And you can like look into her cart and see that when you were looking for oil from lanterns, her cart was fairly full of adventuring gear and some equipment that you don't normally get, some cool like odds and ends that she's found along the way, some trinkets here and there. Right now it's almost empty. She's only got a few lanterns left. She's got a few trinkets left, but a lot of her daggers and ropes and backpacks that she had all seem to have been snapped up from the researchers here.
Cool.
I swear, only reason why I want to stay the night is because people are coming. If they weren't coming, I'd say let's go.
Yeah.
But as long as you're good with that.
What time of day is it?
Sorry?
What time of day is it? You may have said already. But...
It's getting towards dusk, so we're dealing more with like, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock-ish.
Okay.
Are we all back together? We're all kind of meeting back up?
Yeah, you can all like meet back up. Eliza would have just gone to whoever was closest to pass the message along. And she will point you back to the Wrangler's Rest for rooms, since that's the only really inn there is.
Hey, Apoc, I got you something.
Oh yeah? What'd you get, Cam?
Pull out the frog hat.
Jesus. How did you know?
I just had a feeling it's your color. It just fits.
Does it fit well?
I mean, it's pretty darn cute.
Apoc just kind of like raises an eyebrow on each side and tries to like move the ears individually.
Do they?
And then they both just like fall forward.
I don't know. Do they?
Yeah.
Nice.
If you want them to, they do. Absolutely.
And then I'm like, so Apoc, I thought that was like the best hat of the bunch, so I couldn't think of anybody else better that I want to give that to. Sir Basil, I know you wear your helmet, so I didn't want to, scuff up the look, so I don't really have a hat for you, but Dace, I got you a big cowboy hat, and I like throw it onto him. So he's got this like huge Stetson 10-gallon. I think that's more your type. So
I think Dennis would appreciate that, to be honest.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Dace will catch it and just put it on. I'll leave it up to Dennis if he wants.
And then I'll keep the other hats for later.
Nice. I love it.
All right, those of you with hats are looking pretty fine.
If we're all ready to turn in for the night, perhaps we can grab a meal from the Wrangler's Rest and get ourselves a room. Maybe there'll even be a deal where if you eat dinner, you get a cheaper night. something.
So you head back into the Wrangler's Rest.
I do.
As you walk in, I mean, Helen's really happy to see you. She's currently serving someone, and the Wrangler's Rest is now busy. Seems like most people come here for a meal at the end of the day. You can see some people who even still have like a backpack on the floor, kind of tracking in some mud from what you assume is the Mock Fields, the swamp area to the south of Winnowing Reach. And Helen kind of waves from the bar and gestures to whatever table might be open for you guys to find, which there are if you want. She'll kind of like wander over in a couple minutes and just, so you're back. Did you enjoy the town?
Very pleasant.
And you're staying a night?
Yes, I think so.
Great, great.
If you have rooms.
We do. We do. Is it going to be one room, or do you need a couple, or?
How big are the rooms?
Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, how big are the rooms? What size rooms do you have?
Well, if you're looking for a room for the four of you, we can definitely throw a few extra beds in a room. They're big enough to accommodate about 4 cots. Otherwise, if you want a bit more space, it's about 2 beds a room.
Are there 5 of us? Is Dace just going to sleep on the cot?
We got Eliza.
Yeah, and Eliza.
So there's 6 of us.
Eliza seemed pretty busy at her cart too. So if you wanted to make sure she had a room, you can, but she didn't mention anything about it.
I think we could do three rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Quillen, maybe you can have a room to yourself, and then we can split the boys up.
Sounds great. And then if Eliza wants to bunk with me, then she has the freedom to do so.
All right, sounds good. 3 rooms. You're gonna have a dinner with that, or you're already well fed?
We would love some dinner, please. What's on the menu?
Special tonight, no slime, so you don't have to worry about that, hun.
Thank you.
We have a, I was about to say boar.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry.
No slime, but you're on the menu.
No. We have a burger special.
You see, I'm eating a burger. We're all out of burgers.
How do you always have everything?
This happens.
Well, I mean, he knows we have a burger special. You can either choose from lamb or beef burger, and it's topped with, you know, all the fixings that we have. And if you want, we can even throw in some like French fries right into the middle. And then when you squish it down, it's just that extra good. Or we have a salad.
Oh dear, I don't think the boys will eat a salad.
All right, so 4 burger specials then.
I think Dace is all about the salads.
That's true.
Yeah.
Those healthy games, right?
Yeah.
The salad to go.
Excellent idea.
All right, 3 rooms and dinner. Sounds good.
Apoc just leans in quietly, just so nobody else can hear. He says, thanks.
Do you want ice?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, iced.
All right, so she'll go and start making your meals. Unless there's anything you wanted to talk about, we can time warp ahead.
So if there's a bunch of Slimers in here, did we want to maybe talk to them to figure out where, you know, what's going on, and maybe if there's like a job that we could get, make some money, or get some information on where to go? I'm just thinking this is an opportunity, and maybe we can use that.
That seems good. I mean,
Especially if Eliza has to spend another day.
Yeah, first, if
Exactly.
we're here, we might as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to approach just one of the tables where there's like the muddy footprints lead to, with a burger in hand. Hey guys, gals, folk, people. What's
How
up?
goes it?
Goes well. Name's Camembert. Camembert Applebottom, here with my posse. Are we going with posse? Apoc?
Apoc just slurps like from a straw, just this big gulp.
Okay, it's just me and my friends.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Camembert and posse friends.
Just wondering, looks like you guys have been out down in the mock fields.
How we have?
Any was it slimes come your way?
Maybe a couple.
Yeah,
Are
what?
you interested?
Well, maybe. I don't know if there's work to be had, but just wondering how dangerous these slimes are. I don't want to put, you see Big Gulp over there. I don't want to put him in any danger. But if it's easy money, be interested to see if there's any opportunities.
Easy money.
Were you pointing at Dace? Just
No, I was pointing at Apoc.
okay.
Money.
He loves getting paid.
Wow. You come to the right place then, Camembert and posse friends. So I'm sure you've heard by now, more or less, if you know about the slimes, that people kind of harvest them and send them north. Slimes are pretty dangerous, but if you're one of the wranglers, you can get paid a pretty penny for bringing in some samples.
When you say wrangler, so like you sign up, is there like a sheet that you gotta put your name on, or can you just go get a slime and bring it back? Like contractually, is it like honest pay or is it below the table? Like what's the deal here?
This Mapach kind of gives you a look. You might want to go and kind of at least tell the storage and granary facility that you're going to be doing this so that if you don't come back, they know to maybe send someone looking for you.
Okay, so it sounds like they're on the up and up and they'll come rescue you. Good to know.
While this is all going on, after Camembert says Wrangler, Apoc just starts pulling out a rope and like getting ready to like lasso something.
You hear Helen. No! Get down!
He gets down.
Well, thank you all for the tip. I'll leave you with one of my own, and I prestidigitate their glasses to chill their drinks down a little bit more.
Much obliged. Maybe we'll see you out there tomorrow then, Camembert and posse friends.
All right. Waddle over. All right, guys. Apparently, if we go sign up at the granary, we can make some money that way, and it's all above board.
All above what?
You heard me.
At this point, Helen comes out with a big platter with all of your burger specials and one salad and a to-go box for Dace.
Love it.
Right, so we're preparing your rooms right now. For all of this, plus the 3 rooms, it's going to cost you about 8 silver.
It's a good deal.
Apoc just slams down a gold. You've been great.
I understand why there was no coffee for you this morning.
Why not?
So you enjoy.
Oh, I will. Have you heard about my blog?
What's a blog?
I just like, I don't have any of it. I mean, like if you want to learn how to do something, you just look at the blog.
You haven't really given like instructions?
No, you can find them on logs around town.
Logs around town.
I spent all day carving them out.
I'll keep an eye.
Yeah.
Looks over to you.
See them on the papers. I can mail you them.
Just make sure you come to me for some tea before you go to sleep tonight, or else you won't sleep.
Would you like to sign up for my mailing list?
Sure, huh?
Yeah, where can I send it to?
The Wrangler's Rest
Yeah.
in Winnowing Reach.
Yeah.
You want to send it to Helen?
Okay, do they deliver here?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thanks, Helen. Bye.
Someone make sure he comes to me for some tea before he goes to bed. Okay.
Just curious, how big is this burger?
About the same size as cinnamon buns. Helen does not mess around, yo.
Okay, to paint a picture, imagine like if this is the bar or the chair, Basil's sitting on it. So like if he's sitting on it, maybe just his head is tall enough to be over the table. Burger sits down, and literally all you see is his jaw drop. And you can imagine almost as if the burger is glowing, and you hear music going, hallelujah. And you can slowly see him stand up so that he's just a bit taller, just like than the burger. So it's almost like, and he's just like, just stunned at how big this burger is. And he just like dives in and starts
Amazing.
chomping.
Yeah, they're really good. You guys eat your burgers, they're really good. I'm sure someone will bring out a salad to Dace in his to-go container. And he's just like, he worked out for 12 hours. He's passed out in the cart. There's no moving him with the cat, the hat, doing the hat thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do before bed, Helen will escort you to your rooms with your bellies full. It's very easy to fall asleep, and kind of later at night, Mrs. Q, you do hear Eliza sort of creep in and just sort of curl up and sleep in the bed next to yours.
Excellent.
Unless there was anything else anyone wanted to do.
Just for kick, let's say that in the middle of the night, Dace wakes up and starts doing curls again, and I can't sleep, so I like creep out the window and just am sleeping outside because he's just doing curls all night.
Are we all in the same room, or was there 3 rooms?
Mm-hmm.
So who are
I'll say I'm rooming with Dace.
Okay.
During the night, I'm gonna study the hats, including I guess the frog hat because it's in the same room as me, to see if I can get any glimpse of like, is there anything more to these hats than just plain hats?
Ooh, interesting. Make an investigation check on hats.
At 22.
No, I did not answer.
I got them for a steal.
You spent some time looking at these hats and thinking back to the Vulpin that was a little hyper that you originally bought the hats from. You get the feeling that he likely just sort of collected these over the years, and it wasn't exactly that a haberdashery went through town as though he was just cleaning out his attic. This doesn't exactly look like something that would make its way to a fine city like Alderheart.
Okay.
They look pretty cool. They'll definitely help you stand out. We don't glean anything from looking them over or really giving them a good
Cool.
good once over.
Sounds good.
Does anyone else want to do anything before bed?
That Miss Q lays there and takes a little while to fall asleep because she sorely regrets allowing Apoc and Cam to room together because it just seems like a bad idea.
Let's tear this place apart.
Hey, Cam,
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty jittery.
You did have a big day, buddy.
No, but like we can get a lot done tonight. Do you want to stay up with me?
Sure. I'm always down for late
Pull
night
an
antics.
all-nighter?
Yeah. I still got some cold brew left.
That's perfect. Can I have some?
Sure.
Awesome. I'm gonna just like chug the rest of his cold brew. Okay, I got an idea. We can either go out in the town or we can try and just like make things.
Okay. I'm all aboard. What do you need me for?
Do you want to like we can outfit these hats with some stuff? It's cool, but we give it back to people. We can, like it can be like, bam, here's a dart out of it. Or like, if you want to go check out, I don't know. There was a place. What was it? Apoc-ethary? They had my name on a board.
The Apoc-etharies?
The Apoc-ethary, yeah. I was kind of interested in that. I didn't get there, but
we could sneak in.
Yeah. Let's sneak in.
Maybe. Okay, Miss Quillen definitely wouldn't want us to do that. But Basil might.
Should we get Basil?
Do you think we should let him know?
Yeah, we could invite him. Would he be fine staying up all night, or does he sleep?
Let's go ask. We
Okay.
Wrap
Wait.
up.
Gotta be quiet though. We don't want to alert Miss Basil.
All right.
Miss Quillen.
All right. I'm gonna go stealthily see if Basil's awake and see if he wants to come join us.
Right before he like knocks on the door, I'm like already behind him because like Dace is up like curling in the room. I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, Apoc and I are gonna go on the town, and just wondering if you wanted to come with.
And then
Boys'
okay,
night.
as soon as he says that, I'm like, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Apoc, lead on. Where are we going?
Just like sneaking down quiet as possible. Guys, do we want to use the front door or do we want to sneak at the back? Let's just go.
Okay.
Yeah, we head out. Cam, you went there. Can you lead us to the Apoc-ethary?
Yeah, no problem. We're there.
Okay. Are we there?
Yeah, he knows where the apothecary is.
Okay, we're outside now.
And you go ahead and creep up the stairs, quiet as you can.
Oh, we're inside already.
No.
Okay, you said up the stairs?
It's in the boughs of the trees.
Gotcha.
So you have to creep up these stairs outside, and now you're at a locked door at the entrance to this apothecary with a closed sign on it.
All right, Cam, I'm gonna keep watch. You want to do your thing?
All right, sounds good. Basil, can you cover for us?
Kind of confused. I was just like, why? Of course.
Excellent. I'm gonna try.
Everybody make a stealth check first.
Fucking
Oh my gosh.
26.
Terrible roll.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 5.
Lovely.
Oh boy. All right, hold on. Let me see this map here.
I have no idea what you got planned, but I'm 100% on board.
Let's just say you're very, very lucky with the fact that the magistrate's office and the granary, the two places that would be guarded, are on opposite sides of the circle from here.
Sweet.
What are you guys doing standing outside this door?
I'm gonna try and unlock the locked door.
Go ahead and try and pick this lock.
All right. And there's my nat 1. We're doing so well.
Okay, you go to try and pick this lock, Cam. And again, you know that this bullpen is like super jittery. Way too much coffee, a little on the cuckoo for Cocoa Puff side. And you're like, yeah, I got this, no problem at all. You go to try and pick this lock. It's not a magical lock, at least you don't think so. And for some reason, it might be like that you're rusty at this or whatnot. You go and try and turn that last tumbler, and all of a sudden you hit some sort of barrier. As you try and push through, you hear this tink, and you can delete your thieves' tools
Yep, that's about right.
as they break in the lock.
Well, that was a good $50 I could have used. All right. So I've got no other plan.
Do we see like a window or something like up
Yeah.
above?
Absolutely. So I didn't do a great job describing it at first, but when you're up at the top of this staircase, it's kind of like, like an old timey shop window in like, Diagon Alley where the windows are quite big, even on the door. And all they have in front of them is like blinds to cover them down. And on the door itself, you see in like that old gold lettering paint font, like just Apoc-ethary on it. So you can't really see in clearly. You can try and make a peek through like where the blind ends and where the door frame begins, that like sliver. But that's all you really have to work with right now.
Is there a chimney?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Go ahead and make a perception check. And I'll make something up depending on what you roll.
That's a 19 plus 3, 22.
Get out of here. It's a little hard to see because it is in the boughs of this tree.
Yeah.
I
guess what I'm looking for specifically is other ways in
right.
with
Okay.
my perception.
So you can't really see a chimney from your vantage point where you are.
Yeah.
If anything, it might be around the back, but you'd have to go back down the stairs and creep around
Gotcha.
to see if you could find anything. From what you can see and from how this shop is built, the back of this shop is at the trunk of the tree, and it's kind of built out forward so that it is sort of balancing on some of the bigger boughs.
Okay.
And where you're standing, the staircase that's built kind of like free from the ground, not really attached to the trunk or anything. So if you can imagine, it's sort of like sticking out a bit from the tree.
Okay.
Cam does know that this Vulpin came down from above the shop. You don't see any other windows into the shop right now, or any other ways in unless you want to break a window.
Yeah.
But the Vulpin came down a staircase at the back of the shop.
Gotcha.
You're not too sure what's there, but if you wanted to try and get around, you could.
I mean, I don't want to break a window, guys, but like,
I put my crowbar away.
I was gonna say I have a crowbar too. We could try and just like jimmy open the door. Might break something, but be less noticeable.
You think, Basil?
Basil's kind of just like standing there and like questioning his knightly honor, and you can see him got and just doesn't know what to do. He just starts like fidgeting with himself, being like, and doesn't give you an answer. He's just you can tell he's just like not sure what he's doing.
Like, do the windows slide up? Have we checked that? They're all locked.
No, there's no real place to slide them,
Gotcha.
and it does look like, I mean, Cam was in it. It's solid panes of glass. They're not exactly
Gotcha.
sliders. There's no screen. If there was ever a need to like open a window for whatever reason in the shop, it's the door that swings open.
Okay, yeah. Apoc's gonna take his crowbar, jam it in between the door and the frame, and just like try and pop it open with strength.
Okay, couple rolls. Go ahead and make a strength check to see if you pop this door open.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
All right.
No joke.
Okay, yeah. You go ahead and pop this door open. And whether it's because Cam's broken thieves' tools are stuck in that lock or whatnot, maybe he got it almost undone, you do pop this open. And as the door opens, you hear ding, ling, 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 ling from the bell that notifies the Vulpin when somebody enters his shop.
Cam, you didn't say there was a bell.
You never asked. This is squarely on you.
Oh man. Do we hear any reaction to the bell?
Make a perception check. Everyone can make a perception check.
13.
17.
21.
I'm gonna find the step book again.
Mrs. Q is going to have our necks. Do you think we should go get her? Maybe she could help us out.
Who?
Mrs. Quillam.
Yeah? You think she'd be down for this?
Absolutely not, but we're kind of useless without her.
Well, we might need her help later.
What was everyone's oh wait, you did perception.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
17.
21.
You don't hear anything at the moment.
Okay.
No lights turn on. You don't hear any noise, but also you don't really see the steps from where you are. The inside of the shop that you can see right now is only lit by moonlight.
Do they have cool stuff in here, Cam?
There was a bunch of potions.
Should we grab a few?
Yeah, they're right there on the counter. There might be stuff on the table in the back. This like metal table.
Yeah.
You scoop up what you want. I'll find what I can, and I start like peruse around to see if I can find anything else that's not in the obvious spots.
Okay, so you're looking for any kind of
The hidden doorway that I saw the Vulpin come up from.
So it was more just like he came downstairs that were mostly obscured by the back shelves. Think of it as like a see-through bookshelf almost.
Okay, gotcha.
And you saw him kind of come down back there. You can see that there's like this, this turnaround. You could go to the stairs if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around to see if I can find anything that's like maybe a little bit more valuable tucked in the back.
More valuable than the
potions,
potions,
yeah.
something a little different. Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. I didn't plan for.
That's a 12.
Okay. From being in here before, like you know that there's rows upon rows upon rows of potions here in every single flask that you can possibly imagine in every single color that you can see.
Right there. Apoc. All here. Right there. Potions.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You go to look for any type of register or coin purse or drawers or something that might have anything different. And with the exception of the coat hook that had the hats there, it's really just a potion shop.
Okay.
And this is where you also got the sense that the hats came from him cleaning out his attic instead of from a haberdashery headed towards Albert.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
I don't know.
Are you just grabbing?
Apoc's not a stealer, he's more of a trader. So I'm just going to I was more curious about what an Apoc-ethary was.
What are we doing in here?
What you said it was cool. It had my name on the store.
You always
I just wanted to see what it was. I'm just gonna pull out my holy. I've got a flask of holy water, and I just want to switch that for something that looks similar. So, I just want to just one for one, just not steal anything, but just trade what I have for it.
So, clear holy water for a clear potion of.
I'm not even looking for the same kind of thing. I just wanted to switch it for something
Something random.
Inconspicuous, not in an obvious spot that you would notice it, but maybe looking through a shop a few days later, he's like, "Oh, that looks new."
Well, in this brief kind of panic around, you
Yeah.
do notice a Starbucks-esque mug full
Yeah.
of brown liquid that is still on the shelf from this morning.
Yes.
Kind of strange. How did that get there?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do a quick grab and trade, sure, anywhere you want, you can just grab it and trade it. There's you aim for where the two shelves meet at a 90-degree angle.
Mhm.
You notice that there's kind of a little hook that you can take one potion and throw yours back there. You likely won't notice.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to take it from where the potion was. The potion was back there.
Yeah, you're
okay.
switching. It's just
Yeah.
because these shelves are so full, it's kind of tucked around this little corner of this decorative molding that where 2 shelves hit a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So he'll only see it if he's looking for that specific potion or if he's dusting.
Not anything obvious.
Okay, so some random potion of a random color.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me write that down so I'll get back to you later.
Everybody, maybe just take one.
Basil, grab one. Your accessory already.
Oh,
guys are
geez, what am I
worse.
supposed to do? What character?
There's somebody at the top of the stairs.
Like
Is there anyone keeping watch?
Well, I was standing by the door keeping watch.
Okay. You start to notice some lantern light slowly bobbing as if there's a patrol coming around in a circle.
I like kind of give like a and like point to the light and point like, get out of here.
This is you're the brains of this
Let's
operation.
go. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay, so real quick, did Apoc and did Cam grab anything? Like, so Apoc did grab a potion.
I traded.
Okay.
Traded. Cam did not grab anything.
No, I don't think so. I'm not gonna like steal the register. I've been more interested in like objects, if anything. You know what? Yes, I am going to put the denim baseball cap back and take any red potion that I can. Green like my apples. I'm gonna grab a green potion if I can, and I'm gonna put a little note saying, "Don't worry, we'll pay you back." No,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna sign it. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
And then Basil, thinking about it, speaking meta right now, like would I have a sense of like, ooh, we just broke the door. How much would it cost to repair the door?
Oh, I see. I mean, it's just wood and a lock at the end of the day, so likely not too much. A gold would absolutely cover the cost with more to spare. But you could risk it and get away with like 8 silver.
Okay, I'll say as we're rushing out, and being the last one out, as I close the door, I just like put like a gold on the inside of a gold coin on the inside of the door and just slowly close it and run out.
They made a profit from us robbing them.
I mean, like Knight's Honor, man. Like, come on.
No, I love it. It's great. All right, so you
Let's
guys, okay, Basil, seeing this light approaching the bottom of the staircase, you guys choose to run down the staircase and try and run back to the Wrangler's Rest.
Wait, so are you saying that we're running towards the light?
So think about it. If this is, the town circle, looking at it from a bird's eye view,
Sure.
the Wrangler's Rest is up here. The Apoc-ethary is down here, and you see the light coming from around this side.
Okay. So can we run opposite direction then? Go away from the light?
Yeah, so you'd want to run just like the straight shot back to the Wrangler's Rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely can. As you make it down to the bottom of the staircase, thankfully, for nothing else, Eliza's cart and a few other merchant carts that have come in late in the evening are now kind of around the square, along with some of the horses and other carts, yours included, that you're currently obscured by the guards, but they're walking towards you. And if you're about to make a run towards the Wrangler's Rest, I'm gonna need a stealth check from everybody.
Oh, it says apothecary. That makes more sense.
25.
Oh my gosh. 11.
12.
Okay. Unfortunately, that last step is a little creaky. You didn't realize it when you first went up because you guys were being at least a little quieter and didn't have some guards to worry about. But now that you're running and running down that staircase, you hear this as two of you step on this creaky step. And as you sort of freeze on the ground right before you're about to book it back towards the Wrangler's Rest, you hear the guards just kind of, someone there? Fran, is that you? And the light slowly starts to get a little closer. Are you guys running or are you staying? Are you gonna run or are you gonna hide?
I think I was already running.
Yeah, I'm still running.
Running?
Does Sir Basil run?
You're running or hiding? You're
Two.
coming around the corner.
You're the smallest, so I don't know. You might be the least likely to be seen because you're so small.
And you're saying that there's like a bunch of merchants nearby, so I could kind of easily sort of tuck away, or no?
You'd have to cross the street to get to where the merchant carts are. You could just try and hide around the trunk of this tree, but it seems like Apoc and Cam are about halfway to the Wrangler's Rest.
Okay.
If they're just booking it.
Okay. I think Sir Basil will try and see if he can play it off and be like, wow, this step is really loud, and start just jumping on it to make more noise, as if like he was just going for a stroll, hit the step and was like, what the, and then starts just jumping on it until the guards reach him.
Well, Apoc and Cam, you make it back to the Wrangler's Rest. The guards come around the corner with the lantern. Sir Basil. State your name.
Kind of like blocking the light from my eyes. Sir Basil, can you get that light on my face?
Him again.
And then I say, oh, you two, how goes the nightly watch? Did you know that this step is very creaky? And I start kind of stepping on it and making more noise.
What you doing out, Sir Basil?
Just taking a nice midnight stroll, some fresh air. I'm allowed to do that, aren't I?
You're the one all worried about danger. I told you that the bandits sometimes make an attack on the storage granary at night.
Giving him a kind of like a stern look, Basil just says, trust me, I can take care of myself.
I suggest you go back to your bed.
Kind of walking backwards, kind of just give them once again, a soldier's salute and head back towards Wrangler's Rest.
They're gonna escort you there.
Okay, sure.
So that took some time. Just for fun, the three of you that decided to go out, make some Constitution saving throws for me. Let's see if you are tired the next day or not.
12.
These rolls. A 9.
11.
What was yours, Cam?
12.
Okay. Fortunately, you get back in time to still creep back into your room and get a long rest and a good night's sleep.
To be honest, I wasn't planning on sleeping. I'm wired as fuck right now. I want to know what this potion is, so I just want to like play around and look at it.
Okay.
And out of like curiosity, I would be bugging Cam to like Cam.
All right. Yeah.
Did you find anything?
I got this green potion and this brown potion.
Yeah, but what do they do?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, you gotta figure it out, right?
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Should we do what we do on any road trip? Mix all the drinks together and take a swig?
Take the Kool-Aid.
I just want to I don't know if I want to drink all of it. Maybe some.
All right. Which one do you want me to try?
Try the brown one.
Do you down the whole thing, or are you just doing?
I'll take a sip.
You'll take a sip, so you're just doing the test.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I had my potions list up. This is the brown one. You go ahead and take a little swirl and you go ahead and take a sip. And even though it's brown and muddy and gross looking, it tastes a little bit on the fruity side. And you swear as you kind of like look at it and swirl it that you see almost this like illusory kind of feather floating in it, and this piece of almost what looks like a tabby cat fur kind of floating in it.
Interesting.
And you see what looks like almost a brief kind of wave of what like fish scales in the sunlight would look underwater. And you gather this is a potion of animal friendship.
Oh, excellent. Cork it and put it down. All right, your turn.
Right. And I just like take a swig.
What color potion did you grab?
You tell me. Give it a roll.
Okay. You're drinking the whole thing?
No, just this. I just want to kind of like taste what it is, similar to what I saw Cam do.
Okay, hold on a second. Similar to what Cam did?
Mhm.
Okay. So you go ahead and take a look at this potion. And it sort of looks like you know, when a wave crashes and you see that very, very, very vivid bright blue right before it turns into the crest and the, I forget what it's called. It kind of looks like that color. And as you uncork it, you see this kind of like green smoke rise from it. And the closer you inspect it, you do see that there's this almost little like little blip kind of thing floating in the middle of it. And as you take a little sip and try and figure out what it is, you get the sense that this potion may help you should you ever find yourself in need of breath underwater.
Ooh. I can inhale my coffee. That's so cool.
I'll take a swig of the green potion while we're going around.
Yeah.
You go ahead and take a sip of this green potion, and as you kind of hold it up and start to swirl it, it's nothing really special from what you can see. There's no fish scales or feathers or little jellyfish-esque type bubbles floating in it. And you go ahead and take a sip. Doesn't taste great. Kind of almost tastes like, I don't know, some sort of algae in water. Almost as if this erratic Vulcan decided to pack his shelves with colored water to make it look like he had more of a stock.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Sneaky.
All right.
So you two stay up all night?
Cam, I can't sleep.
Well, I need to.
Sir Basil, did you go to sleep first of all?
Yeah, Sir Basil goes back to the room to find Dace either still curling or passed out. So then
No, he's passed out.
he passes out.
Yeah.
I'll only sleep if Apoc lets me.
You don't let him?
Every like hour or so, Apoc, because I mean, he's just wired. He's thinking about all the things he can do with this hat right now. And whether or not Cam notices it, but like every hour or two, he just like kind of says, what if it shot off like ball bearings or something?
I hand
So
him.
I don't know if that keeps Cam awake, but I mean,
I hand him
he's
half my ball
definitely not
bearings.
being quiet.
What did you say, Eric?
I'll hand you half of my ball bearings, and like just to like as a plea to get some sleep. It's like that kid at the sleepover that just doesn't
Yeah.
stop talking.
You're gonna stay up all night? You do suffer a point of
I
exhaustion.
don't. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and sleep if I can.
You're gonna try and sleep. But Apoc,
Even
you're
a
gonna
short,
try and sleep.
even a short
What did-
rest.
What did you roll for your con save?
Is a 12.
Okay, you're able to get some sleep and you're able to get a long rest out of it. You have a point of exhaustion, good
Yeah.
sir.
Working on my creativity.
As all good people do. All right, so you do wake up / the morning comes for those of you still awake.
Can I so I have a sneaking suspicion that Apoc and Cam did not stay in their rooms. I have no idea about Basil, but I just assume that because Cam and Apoc were room together, they definitely did not do what I wanted them to, which was sleep. Okay, so because I know this, because I like without even like I know nothing about what they got up to, but I just know that like at the crack of dawn, like the earliest, once I don't know if Apoc is actually asleep or if like he's finally starting to doze off, like the coffee's just like wearing off. It's like, okay, eyes are starting to close. You hear right, it feels as if it's happening right by your ears. Like this huge like clap of lightning and thunder, as if like the storm is in your actual eardrum and like wakes you out of your sleep. And you just see Miss Quillam standing there at the door saying, "Gentlemen,
Yep.
I am very disappointed in you."
What?
What if the hat had like the earplugs there?
Little flaps that came down.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, morning.
Miss Quillam just shakes her head,
We didn't go
turns
anywhere.
around, walks out the door, and without touching the door, you see her fingers snap and the door just slams super loud.
Do you have coffee?
I don't. And I'm gonna run to the door and like try and creep open. We didn't go anywhere.
I turn around and I say, "Cam, do you really take me for a fool?" And just keep walking.
Oh my gosh. The tension. The tension. Oh.
I'll see you downstairs for breakfast in 5 minutes. Make sure you're ready. And I teeter down the stairs.
I run over to Apoc and just like hit him like, look what you did. Let's go.
We're having an adventure.
Yeah, but Mrs. Quillam needs us to make sure we can look after her, and if we're not doing the right things, we're not going to be able to help her if things ever get a little tougher, especially if you're exhausted like that. Pick yourself up. Let's go.
All right. Just give me a second. I got a shower.
But we're definitely doing more of that. All right.
Okay.
just get your sleep.
Hey, can you grab me a coffee though? I mean, it would make me feel a little bit more awake.
Grab a coffee.
Yep. Apoc. You know I can never say no to you. And I go get him a coffee.
Just
Fucking enablers.
just don't get me 4 at night.
Okay.
All right, so you head down. You're showering?
I'm just freshening up.
Okay.
I don't want the stench of like this boar that just like sat in his own filth all night, just kind of like sweating and figuring it out.
It's like you drink too much tequila. All right, Mrs. Quillam, since you're the first one that makes it downstairs, you kind of come down the stairs, and the way the tavern is situated, the stairs are sort of right next to the bar. So the first thing you see when you pop out is Helen behind the bar, just sort of like drying a dish. And she kind of looks over in your direction and gives sort of a nod, but You can kind of tell it's a little bit of a nervous nod. And as you sort of walk into the main room of the tavern, you notice that there are quite a few of the Birdfolk militia guards just sitting, kind of looking at the stairs, tapping their feet, just waiting.
Interesting.
She's
And
sad.
as you walk down behind Basil, I'm not sure if you're also following, you notice the same thing.
Okay.
I turn around to Basil and say, Basil dear, I'll bring you up some breakfast, but would you mind telling our two lovely companions that maybe they should have their breakfast in their room this morning?
Miss, I'm sorry, I can't allow that.
Who says that, Helen?
Nope, one of the guards.
Oh,
You see this, the one closest to you, this Luma just sort of stand up, hand on the hilt of his sword. There's this kind of crest that you recognize as the magistrate's crest, kind of holding, embedded in his armor.
Hearing that, I say, I assume, would I recognize, oh, this is definitely, okay, so I would definitely recognize this as a magistrate guard, right?
You know this is the magistrate's guard. Yeah, they definitely have the crest.
Yeah,
But you also know that, like, in a town this small, the militia works under the magistrate itself. This is just a captain of the guard.
Hearing him say that, I kind of step forward in front of Miss Quillum and I say, no, I know that you are guards of the magistrate, but what type of honorable man speaks to a lady that way? You trying to like defend Miss Quillum.
I'm so old. Who cares?
The kind who knows that you're not good company for her. Were you at the Apoc-ethary last night?
What type of accusation is that?
Well, let me lay it out for you, Sir Basil. See, the Apoc-ethary was broken into last night, and two of our guards saw you on the staircase. Don't suppose you'd like to explain that at all, would you?
Well, as I explained, and I kind of stepping away from Miss Quillum towards this guard, do I see the two guards in the room that I spoke to?
Mm-hmm.
I like point to them. As I explained to your two, what was I going to say? To your men as they were on patrol last night. I was going for a midnight stroll. As is my right, as a traveler to your town. Is there anything wrong with simply enjoying the sights and walking and stretching my legs?
Make a deception check.
Okay.
Can I come down the stairs as he's like fluttering through this? And
Yeah.
be like,
What is these rolls? A 9.
and I just say, he's not to blame. It's me. I talked him into coming just to be some eyes for me, but he has nothing to do with it. He was an accessory the whole time. I just
The
want to
captain
say,
kind of, oh, sorry.
I want to say I'm sorry, and whatever the punishment is, I'll take it kindly.
The captain kind of like just taps one of their long talons on the pommel of their sword. And is just gonna turn to their right to a few of the guards that are with them and just take them both. We'll sort this out in the jail. And unless you resist, not you, Mrs. Quillum, but they are going to come and arrest the two boys.
Man, this is the bad thing about playing such a night.
Apoc just walks down and what's going on?
I let them take me.
I go with him.
You come down just in time to see Camembert and Sir Basil being led away, manacled, And Mrs. Quillam just kind of looking a little, how you feeling, Mrs. Quillam? You feel in that sentence?
I am feeling concerned. At first I'm exasperated, but then they like actually arrest them, and now I'm just very worried. Because as much as I complain about them, these are my boys. I don't want to see them in jail.
Well, Camembert and Sir Basil, you're being let off, escorted by way too many guards for the two of you.
Can I try and sneak a key out of one of the guards?
You absolutely can try. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
That's a 19.
Okay, let's play this out.
How does inspiration work in this world? How are you doing inspiration? Can you give it to other people?
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so
before you resolve this, Eric, what was your roll, like your number?
I don't want to give you the number, but not super high.
Okay, I want to give him inspiration on this check.
Okay. Nat 20.
Yeah.
Very nice.
27. 27 for a total.
Take a picture of that. I want to see it.
So good.
It was gonna fail too.
That's why I didn't want you to tell me.
There you go. I'll send it to you. Amazing.
You somehow. We'll do it this way. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
It's on the new die.
I was gonna say, is this the new one that rolled a 1 for the inaugural roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is great. Okay, so you and Sir Basil are led away to the jail, and the jail is this kind of imposing building, sort of right next to the magistrate's office. So where the magistrate's office kind of goes up into the tree, this jail almost looks like it's been dug into the ground a little bit. And as you're led through the main guarded entrance and led into one of the cells, somehow Cam, you being Cam, are able to relieve the captain of the guard, who was the only one that had a key, of his key ring with that kind of a role. And he is none the wiser, just kind of pushes you in, hands still manacled, and closes the door, and you hear it just completely latch as he does so.
Yep.
And then turns around and walks away. I guess that's kind of a good cutting point, though.
Oh my God.
For it to be continued.
Oh man.
Amazing. Thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah,
That was.
Sorry we kind of ran out on you.
I know.
Georgina.
I felt so bad.
Huh?
Sorry we ran out on you there, Georgina.
It's okay. That was awesome. That was absolutely hilarious. I love that.
Oh, I don't know where this is gonna go. Oh,
Yeah. I'm a little like, oh man.
I'm looking forward to Dennis coming back, waking up with a cowboy hat on his face, and we're in jail.
There's nobody around, like.
Oh man.
His arms are
Interesting.
spent the last 24 hours curling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting those
Ballast.
mad gains, love it. Well, that was awesome, Andrea. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Thank you for humoring us.
Yeah, you did a very good job rolling with like our crazy antics.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a really fun session. I wasn't expecting.